My down bad is Iowa, Wisconsin, and Creighton because I talked about it a little bit earlier. Sam Rhule is 4-0 against these teams since coming to Nebraska, and that's incredible. This is the Boys Down Bad podcast, back with another week. It's a two-man pod tonight.
Just two of us here.
The other boys are grinding.
Yep.
You know, can't fault them for it.
Do you know where Tommy is?
Vacation.
Okay. Did you
Might
put
be.
in PTO?
I don't know. Big vacation guy.
Yeah. That's okay.
And that's great. We love that for him.
Just don't have a producer.
Yeah. Producer's an elusive thing to get. But
yeah.
You know who might be able to help with that?
Who?
The boys have a special announcement. We have now, as of now, officially signed a contract with Herdat Media. So Give it up for Herdat. Thank you, Herdat. Very exciting. We're very excited to start working with them. Kind of a culmination of a lot of hard work by the boys.
Yeah, a year of just grinding.
A lot of grinding. Just scheduling interviews, putting together reels, putting together videos. It's, we put in the work for you guys, and it's cool that some of it's paying off.
It's not easy. That's what people, I think, when they're like, oh, I could do a podcast. Mm-hmm. You could record on your phone.
Right.
And then just upload it, but it's not easy.
No, it's hard to get good quality and make sure everything works because we've had many experiences of just things just not working. And we don't really know why. So hopefully Herdat will be able to help us with that. We're super thankful for them. Excited for what we can turn this into.
Yeah.
So we're going to keep grinding.
Just kind of doing it for fun right now. Haven't had a ton of backing. Now get a little bit of help, a little bit of publicity.
Yeah. We're super excited. So thank you, Herdat. Excited to get to work with you. Another kind of housekeeping thing before we start the pod. The boys at No Block, No Rock podcast, shout out No Block, No Rock, have started the Nebraska Podcast Awards.
Yeah.
Which is a fantastic idea. And we got, I guess, nominated for it. They reached out to us. So we, I think it's in August.
Yeah, it's August 19th, I think.
August 19th. So don't know a ton about it yet, but they have 10 to 12 categories that they're having people vote on. There's best comedy podcast, best betting advice.
Yeah.
We should pull up the list.
Let me pull that up here.
But anyway, we were nominated for it, and we would love if Boys Down Bad Nation could go vote for us. I think you can pick 3.
You can pick 3 per category.
3 per category.
Or
per podcast.
Yeah.
3 per podcast.
So we're going for, let me pull it up here. For?
So we can all, Boys Down Bad Nation, getting on the same page.
So we're going for best guess, which we should run away with, in theory.
In theory, yeah.
Bet Your Mortgage Award, which is a betting advice.
Mm-hmm. Hypothetical.
Remember, we did hit a 5-team parlay.
We hit 1 parlay.
And then
for the whole year.
New Kids on the Block. Best podcast 1 year or younger. So we're right on that 1 year.
Yep.
So
if you could go vote for us in those 3 categories, we would really appreciate it. So we'll throw some posts out and put the link in the description and everything. But we'd appreciate if you guys go vote. So exciting things for the boys.
Yeah. You just have to put an email in, and then you can vote for some other ones. Just make sure it's not Bet Your Mortgage, which if we don't win that one, that's fine.
Yeah.
We get it. If you look at our TikTok, they haven't been great all the time.
We had a couple that did well.
But best guess, Malachi Coleman.
Sam Rhule, Sam Hoiberg, Anthony Grant. The list goes on.
Yeah.
So
just take a look at the YouTube page.
Yeah.
Go like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. We would appreciate it. Speaking of guests, we have Nebraska football tight end recruit Ismael Smith Flores on this week's pod. Awesome interview with him. I really like that guy.
Yeah, it just seems like a guy who wants to come in and just work. Mm-hmm. He talked about how Nebraska is a place where you're going to be set up well, even if you don't play a lot.
Yep.
So tune in for that.
Yep. His dad went to Iowa, and he chose Nebraska, so that's kind of cool.
Can't blame him.
Can't blame him. He did the right thing.
Yep.
So stick around for that. That'll be at the end of the pod. But let's move into a little bit of Husker talk to start the pod. The boys went into Iowa, got a huge win on Sunday.
Yep.
Super fun to watch. Griesel balled out. The boys they're just playing hard. They're playing well. I know we slipped up against Michigan State. Should have won that game, but I mean, it wasn't for them not competing hard.
Yeah. Sam needs to shoot more.
I think so too. He's been stroking lately.
That's
not really his game. He's more a facilitator.
It's not his game, but if he's open, just take it.
Yeah.
Because we're just trying to make something happen here.
Mm-hmm. Trying to make a run.
We're throwing out the percentages. We're not trying to get cute with keeping our percentages high.
Mm-hmm.
We're just trying to win games.
Yep. It's March. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
We've got Minnesota on Wednesday.
Win.
So we won. I don't really like doing that anymore since we lost.
We're going to beat Minnesota, and then we're not going to say anything else.
Yeah. We're going to beat Minnesota. That's a win. And then we'll have Maryland, and then Indiana is our road.
Yep.
So
it's not the easiest, but I like our side.
Yeah. I mean, I said it last pod. No one wants to play us.
Correct.
No one should want to play this Nebraska team right now.
No.
We play too hard. You know, we've turned the ball over a lot recently, but normally we're a pretty fundamentally sound team.
Yeah.
And we're a team that you don't want to play, especially if Casey's hot.
Yeah.
So, Jamarcus Lawrence won Big Ten Freshman of the Week this week, which was awesome to see. He has been, since he started, I can't remember when he started starting. I think it was like 5 games ago or something. But he's been a difference maker.
Yeah.
And he's a freshman, so it's
more
future
years.
Point guard.
Yeah. I've said it before, it just sucks that we couldn't get Sam earlier, especially having Derek Walker. I just think it's just like a unicorn. Because you're not running across 6'5", 6'6" point guards in the Big Ten.
Yeah, who can handle the ball, shoot, pass. He can rebound.
Yeah.
He can do everything.
And he also just plays hard. He cares about what it means to play at Nebraska, which, especially with these teams that it's not a Duke, it's not a North Carolina, where like playing for Nebraska on the outside doesn't really mean a whole lot. Unless you're like a Nebraska fan, if you're somebody who really cares about the program just in general, it's not the flashy name.
Yep.
So it's cool to see people who really make it mean something to them.
Yep.
Where it's not just like, yeah, I just played Division I basketball. It's
right.
He plays Division I basketball at Nebraska and cares about it, which is pretty rare.
It is rare, but he's awesome to watch. Yeah, well, sad to see him go. I'll talk about him again in a little bit, but spring football is 2 weeks away.
Yep.
I think there are a couple of press conferences today.
Yeah, it was Fedoni
and Rhule. And
then who was from the defense? Was it Borders?
It might have been Chief.
That's all I can think. I did watch some of him, and I was impressed, per usual.
Yep. It's I mean, I've simmered down a little bit on my excitement.
Yeah.
But I think once spring starts, it'll be all the way back up again.
Yeah, it's just tough right now because we're at the point where there's not going to be more transfers. Yeah, we'll just cut this part.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, I thought we were just going to cut that. Anyway.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, it's just at a point where we're not getting a lot of commits. It's not transfer season, so there's not a whole lot to get super excited for.
This is what's the saying where it's like work hard when no one's watching, you know?
Yeah.
Because like it's grind season. Like it's not. Football isn't really super talked about in the news right now because we're just working. We're just grinding.
I'm excited. Once spring hits, it's all in because once the spring game, I saw it's like 45,000 tickets have been sold. Yeah. So it's going to be packed. So I don't know.
It's exciting.
3 weeks from now, I'm going to be even more bought in, and it's going to be scary, but I'm all in for it.
Yes, exactly. Let's move into the down bads of the week. Just 2 for you today, but Peters, what do you got?
Yeah, so mine is Ja Morant. We don't condone gun violence.
No.
We're not huge gun guys.
I'm not really a gun guy.
Yeah, and so the latest news was he on Instagram Live flashed a gun in a strip club. Can't do that because 1, why are you doing that in general? 2, it was a road game at Denver. So if you're kind of doing the math here, you brought a gun on a team plane. Probably,
yes.
So, and this is just like one of the many things that have happened recently. He allegedly his inner circle had a red laser aimed at Indiana Pacers after a confrontation after the game.
In their bus, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
So you can't do that.
Can't do that.
And then he was punching. This was at a pickup game. Allegedly punched a teen dozens of times, flashed a gun.
You can't do that.
Can't do that.
Can't do either of those things.
And then he was accused of making threatening statements at a Memphis mall guard. That one I didn't know about.
I think he was with his mom, because I think his mom got into like an altercation or something, and then he like stepped in.
And then I think he's set to make like $281 million in the offseason. He got a shoe deal with Nike. He's suspended indefinitely, which isn't breaking news, but yeah. I saw he deleted Twitter and Instagram.
That's probably a good first step.
Yeah. Instagram for sure.
Yep.
You just can't have a gun.
No.
Just
be smart.
Yeah, if you're a gun guy, be smart with your guns.
Yeah.
And maybe he just shouldn't be a gun guy.
Maybe.
And you just need to be a little bit more responsible.
We got to know our role.
Yeah. If you're going to make here's a tip for you. If you're going to make $281 million, don't touch your gun.
Just lay low for a couple months.
Just hoop. That's all.
That's all we got to do.
Just get the bag. No guns.
Hoop and
also,
get your bag.
Don't be shirtless at a strip club. Kind of a weird move.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's not your role.
Got some things. Yeah. Know your role. We need to know our roles right now.
Yeah.
And your job.
We don't, like I said, we don't condone that action. We just want people to be smart, make good decisions, get your bag.
Exactly. Love it. Well, hate it, but
yeah, we don't love what's going on.
No, we don't love what's going on, but that's a good down bad. My down bad is Iowa, Wisconsin, and Creighton, because I talked about it a little bit earlier. Sam Griesel is 4-0 against these teams since coming to Nebraska, and that's incredible. Because this was the first time that we swept Iowa in basketball in a really long time.
Since I think we joined the Big Ten.
Yeah, I think so.
So it hasn't happened much.
He's just like we talked about, he's just a guy who comes in and makes an impact because it means so much to him.
Yeah.
And Husker Nation has rallied around him, so has the team, and it's just been cool to watch.
Yeah. Like I said, he's fun to watch, especially at East. We saw him play all throughout high school, which is even cooler to see, because I think he played varsity as a sophomore.
Yep.
So it's cool to see him go full circle. Obviously, went to NDSU, watched him there, and then back in Nebraska. It's just fun. Wish we had another year. How can we get Sam another year?
We'll pull some strings.
If Casey doesn't come back and we give his extra year to Sam?
Is that how it works?
No.
Can we just trade?
I wish.
I wish too. Yep. But like he said, I think his quote was, "We're not done yet."
Yeah.
We're not done yet.
Because we were talking earlier. I think, obviously, best case scenario is we win the Big Ten. Is it likely?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Could, though. It's March. Anything can happen.
You don't want to play. I guarantee you no team wants to play Nebraska right now.
No.
Especially, I think, if we went 2-1, beating Michigan State at home, I think it's like, well, they won all their home games, but then they lost on the road.
Yeah.
We showed we can go into a road environment, and we're playing neutral site games now.
Yep.
So now it's like, do we want to see a team that is hot, one, and that can win on the road.
Mm-hmm.
So, like you said, it's March. Anything can happen. I think
Anything can happen.
Scenario 2 that we would want is get to the Big Ten title game, and if we lose to Purdue, maybe, because that gets us to, you said 20-16.
Yeah, that's if we go 4-1 in the tournament, which would be 20-16.
Which
and losing in the Big Ten, I feel like we would get in with that.
We probably get into like the play-in game.
Yeah.
Which we'll take.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Worst case scenario is a team that's like on the bubble from the other side of the Big Ten wins it all, and Nebraska loses like in the Big Ten title to like a Michigan, where that's a bid stealer. If we lose to Purdue, newsflash, Purdue's getting a 1 seed. If they get to the Big Ten title game, they're getting a 1.
Yeah, for sure.
So
100%.
if we lose to them in the Big Ten title game, not the end of the world, obviously. We'd like that auto bid, but
we almost beat them earlier this year, so
yeah,
who knows?
We just can't have like a Michigan or like a Wisconsin.
Yeah, can't have a bubble team win.
Yeah, because then you're already, obviously, I think more than 2 teams are going to get, I don't think that's a wild take that 2 teams are going to get bids from the Big Ten, but
yeah,
a bid stealer kind of screws us.
It does. Let's talk a little college hoops. It was a big weekend, finishing up the regular season games before the conference tournaments. I have a list of games that happened this weekend. And I just wanted maybe your thoughts on each one.
Okay.
Did you watch a lot of basketball this weekend?
It was on.
Yeah.
I was doing a lot of dad duty this weekend.
Yeah. That's
but it was on.
Houston beat Memphis on a buzzer beater.
Yeah, I saw the Storm Chasers were there.
Yep. Did you see their stadium?
The court?
Memphis, or the court, yeah.
Yeah, it's always bad.
Yeah, it's weird. I did like the fans were like separated like blue and white, like striped.
Okay. I didn't see that.
Which is pretty cool.
The court is just egregious.
It's weird. Like it's hard to look at.
Yeah. I saw one tweet. It was like Memphis hits a buzzer beater from the logo. And it's like the whole court is just basically the logo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Next game, Indiana beat Michigan in overtime. That was on Sunday. That was a game that Michigan really needed for their bubble chances.
Yeah, because they just can't. I hate Michigan.
Yeah,
I don't love Dickinson.
Dickinson has been there for 15 years, I think.
Yeah. I also don't like just the yellow uniforms.
Mm-hmm.
Hate it. Joey Baker from Duke is at Michigan now.
Yep.
Didn't know that until about 2 weeks ago.
Yep. Indiana. Also, another guy who's been in college for 15 years, Trey
Jackson
Davis. He's been there forever.
I feel like this year you saw a lot of guys come back. Obviously, Dickinson, Trace Jackson Davis, like Sheboy. A lot of guys came back, and they also got the COVID year, so they've really been in school for like 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
So it's weird, like, knowing this many guys.
Yep. A&M beat Bama. That was a big win for them. Anytime I hypothetically bet on Bama, they do terrible. I am the Bama curse. So,
yeah, you got to stop doing that.
Yeah.
Or maybe keep doing it.
Or keep doing it. I don't really... They're going to lose in, like, the Sweet 16, I think. That's just what they always do.
Or they're going to win it all.
Or they might win it all. But...
I think they might win it all.
Seton Hall killed Providence. I don't think Providence is good. The
Yeah.
past couple weeks they have sucked. I think they're possibly a first-round upset.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen what, like, they're projected, what line they're supposed to be on, but I always just see it on, like, Twitter, like, people are betting on Providence, and I'm just like,
Yep.
I never have a ton of confidence in Providence. I don't know why.
No. Auburn beat Tennessee. That was a really good game. Going to Auburn in basketball is probably one of the toughest places to play in the nation, I think. That crowd gets crazy, and they always win at home.
Yeah.
They're going to be – I think they'll definitely make it in, but they'll be a kind of a scary team, I think.
Yeah.
Oklahoma beat TCU. Oklahoma is the anomaly of college basketball right now. They kill ranked teams and get killed by bad teams.
Yeah, it's weird just hearing all these, like, football schools that are now like TCU basketball just should not be good. but they are.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of football schools that are good. Texas killed Kansas. Game was never close. Duke beat UNC. Did you watch any of that game?
I did not.
Just a bad game. Both teams are not good.
Yeah. I feel like it's crazy Duke isn't ranked because I think they were like 20 and...
They were like 22-8 or something like
yeah.
that.
I didn't realize they didn't lose a home game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were undefeated at home.
It's truly, I think, because of the coaches now.
Mm-hmm.
Because this used to be always a high-scoring game. It was always a shootout because it was all the one-and-dones, and now you have a lot of guys coming back for both schools. When it was Roy Williams and Coach K, it meant something, and I feel like with Hubert Davis and John Shire, it's just not the same.
No, not at all.
Which sucks because you put that up with Auburn, Alabama, Yankees, Red Sox.
Yeah,
and it just, what does it mean now?
Nothing. And I think I saw UNC has one quad one win this year.
And it was
shocking.
It was because Virginia was ranked. North Carolina was favored in the game. Their one quad one win, they were favored in too.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know. I don't think Hubert Davis is the guy.
No, I don't think so. And then UCLA beat Arizona in a late night game. I like UCLA. Someone just got hurt. I can't remember his name.
One of their guards, I thought.
He's really good defensive player. His name's Jalen something, but he got hurt, so that'll be tough for them moving on in March.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's college hoops this weekend. Conference tournaments this week, always a fun time.
Yeah, there's just
basketball on all the time. It's crazy.
This is when you hope you saved a couple of units from football season.
Yeah.
Because from now until the end of March, there's always games on.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not mid-majors anymore.
No, it's big-time games. So it's exciting. Let's talk some NFL. We had some NFL news this week. And then we'll jump into the combine. Derek Carr today signed with the Saints.
Did he sign? I
Signed
saw
the
thing that they were the front runner. Did he get a bag or has it been announced?
I don't think it's been announced yet, at least that I've seen. I'm sure when this comes out, it will be.
Yeah.
But just when I think of the Saints, I just think boring football.
Yeah. And
at least over the past couple of years.
And like Derek Carr doesn't make you exciting.
No, just kind of a boring, like a Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
Caliber quarterback. I think he's a little better. But I was just shocked when I saw that. I just never really. I know they tried to get him last year in a trade, but it's a weird fit. I don't know.
It's definitely a step up from like Jameis and Andy Dalton, but it's not. I thought Derek Carr could get more, like go to a better team. I think like with the Jets, I think they're waiting on Aaron Rodgers, so they weren't going to take a chance yet. But when I saw Saints, I was like, yeah, I guess they do need a quarterback, but
yeah, it's just underwhelming. I don't know.
I also I don't see Derek Carr as a New Orleans guy.
No, I don't think so.
Doesn't seem like he goes out to what's it called?
The Bayou.
Yeah.
Go eat some gumbo.
Yeah.
I had gumbo for the first time last week.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
I liked it. Very good. I saw Phil Rivers wants to make a comeback potentially, which that he just shouldn't.
Colts?
I think they might try to draft a quarterback. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but that's interesting.
I just don't see him fitting in anywhere.
No, he needs to stay home with his 50 kids and just be a dad for now.
Just be a dad.
Yeah, he had a great career. One of the all-time best choke artists.
Just doesn't need to try and try and cement his legacy.
No.
You're Phillip Rivers. You're just you.
You are who you are.
Yeah, he is who we thought he was.
Yes, exactly. And then we just saw before we started recording, Gino got a bag.
Yeah, 105 for 3
from Seattle. So good for Gino, I guess.
I wonder how much it was guaranteed.
I don't know. I just saw the initial tweet.
I bet at least 75.
Yeah,
This is gonna look really dumb because it's probably out by now.
Yeah.
Like $75 million guaranteed.
How long has Geno been in the league?
I saw he was at West Virginia from 2009 to 2012.
Okay. So
10 years.
That's not as long as I thought. When I think of Geno Smith, I just think he's been there forever, just in the league forever.
Yeah.
And hasn't done much until last year. So, happy for Geno that he got a bag.
Yeah. I'm not going to shame anybody for getting a bag.
No.
But, Seattle, what are you doing? I definitely think he should have got paid.
Yeah.
But I would have thought, 3 years, $75 million? Give him $25 million a year?
Yeah. 105 is a lot.
Yeah. For 3 years. When you said 105, I figured it was for, 5.
Yeah. 3 years. These quarterback contracts are just...
Yeah.
Danny Dimes is about to make a bag.
Yeah, because what's he asking for, 45?
Yeah, it was... So, yes, I think it was 45. And, total... I think he wants,
probably a 4-year deal.
I think it was more than that.
I guess he is young.
I think it was 8 years or something. It was going to be over 400 mil.
You just can't ask for 400 mil. Because Mahomes got 500 mil.
Yeah, I think he got 500.
So you just can't pay Daniel Jones 500 or 400.
I mean,
that's so much money.
Not after he was literally on the hot seat as a quarterback going into this year.
Yeah.
He played good.
Yeah.
It wasn't super great.
It's not 45 a year.
No.
But I think we said either last pod or 2 pods ago, it's the classic I go high, you go low, we'll meet in the middle.
Yeah, that's true.
So they probably offered him, let's say 35. Mm-hmm. He countered with 45. They'll probably agree on 40.
Yeah. I mean, it's got to be a little bit more than Geno.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best thing for Daniel Jones right now is Geno getting paid.
Yes.
Obviously, it's only for 3 years, but still 35 a year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that was all the NFL news. So let's talk a little bit about the Combine. Anthony Richardson.
Yeah.
Had a day.
Best, testing.
Yep.
Or, best, I don't know, what do you call it? Stats?
Sure. Some were saying, all time for a quarterback.
I think he had the fastest, couldn't have been the fastest 40.
No, he jumped the highest.
Yeah, and jumped the furthest.
Yeah.
And I think he ran a 4.4.
That's good.
Yeah.
And he's got an arm.
Yeah.
Throwing some bombs.
Does. He's gonna. I think he'll be better than Zach Wilson.
Yeah.
But I think you're gonna see he puts up huge, great numbers at the Combine. He's gonna have a really good pro day. Somebody's gonna take a chance on him, and is it really gonna pan out?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
I don't know. It's I'm very intrigued this year. Normally, if the Cowboys aren't in the mix for a high up draft pick, I don't pay that much attention to the draft. But this year I'm just intrigued because you have Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson, and they could honestly all 3 go in any order.
Yeah, and Will Levis is up there.
Will Levis,
Anthony Richardson.
Bryce,
Will Levis, yeah, and then CJ.
Yeah. And that I honestly don't know, and I don't think anyone really knows where they're gonna go.
No, because I saw CJ Stroud, not the best answers to questions. I think he said I don't want to go to Chicago because Justin Fields is my guy. So,
I mean that's yeah.
But the Bears have the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
So ideally you should want to go to the Bears because you want to go first.
Yeah.
I get he's probably I don't think the Bears are going to take a quarterback.
No,
I don't think that's a wild take, but and then he said somebody asked who he looks up to, and he said Michael Vick and Deshaun Watson.
Oh.
So
you couldn't pick 2.
I think he also threw in Joe Burrow. I think he threw those 3 guys out, and then Joe Burrow got cut.
Okay.
Because it's a better...
You can't pick 2 worse guys to name there.
For sure, Deshaun Watson, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Michael Vick, I think he said because he wore number 7 and he tries to like model his game after him.
Okay.
You can
That's
maybe
fair.
say Michael Vick. I think enough time. Obviously not a great guy. Yeah. But enough time has gone by. Deshaun Watson, you cannot say.
No.
That's
really
just
can't.
the worst guy you could have picked.
Yeah, that's a tough look. But yeah, I know the Colts are at 4, and they need a quarterback.
Yep.
They're gonna take a quarterback. Obviously, there's probably three quarterbacks that you want to take.
Yeah.
And you think that a team will probably trade up to the 1 spot to take a quarterback? You would think.
Yeah, I don't think if you're the Bears, you can take the number 1 pick, especially because Jalen Carter from Georgia is probably slipping now.
Yeah.
Because of what happened. I don't know if you can take. I mean, we're going to find out what happens with that legally.
Yeah.
I'm not going to dive too far into that.
No.
But I don't think he's probably like top 5. So maybe you can take him. If you can slide back to like 10, and if he's still there. Because enough teams are going to want a quarterback where you can get you can trade back to like 4 and then get another first-round pick.
Next year, yeah. Yeah, so the Colts are in an interesting spot because the first 3 picks will probably be quarterbacks, you would think.
Yeah,
so
because they're at 4.
Yeah, so do they trade up even just 1 pick to get a quarterback, get a chance at a quarterback?
I feel like if you're going to
like
if you're going to trade up, you probably want to go to at least number 2. Because then you have options at quarterback.
Right, you're not just picking the last guy who wasn't picked.
Because if the Texans go up to 1, but you can somehow get to 2, you're going to have either probably C.J. Stroud, Will Levis, and Anthony Richardson. I don't know why Anthony Richardson is flying to the top of odds. I don't think you can take him if you really need a quarterback. I don't think you can take him, but I feel like you don't want to have number 3 just because it's slim picking. Like you can talk yourself into that you have 2 options, but do you really? Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah.
So I don't see a scenario where the Bears don't trade down.
I don't either.
Because I don't think there's a number 1 guy that isn't a quarterback. Because all year it was Will Anderson was going to be the number 1 pick. But now there's just enough teams that need quarterbacks where.
Right. You can trade back. Husker news, Trey Palmer, pretty good showing.
Yeah. Ran a 4.33.
Yep. I saw him catch, I think it was one of Anthony Richardson's deep balls, and he was just flying. That guy's fast. I never really noticed how fast he was at Nebraska, but he's a quick guy.
I saw an interview. They asked him if he thought if he reran the 40, if he could run a faster 40 time, and he said that he wants to rerun at the pro day. And they asked, "Are you going to?" And he said, "No." Oh, okay. No chance. But why would you?
Yeah, why risk pulling something? Or
Upside, you run like a 4. I mean, he ran a 4.33. If he runs like a 4.3, is that gonna get him out of the second day? Probably not. He'd have to run like a 4.2.
Yeah. And
you still probably aren't getting out of the second day.
Yeah. How much does it really matter at that point?
Not enough to run it again. Where best case scenario, you get to like a 4.25. Worst case scenario, you pull something, tear something.
Yep.
Just not worth it.
Yep. Any other combine news?
Bryce Young.
Oh, yes, Bryce Young.
5'10", 204.
5'10", 204. Guy put on some weight.
Yeah.
For the day, at least.
He probably played at like 185, 190. So potentially gained 19 pounds from his last game to... I saw he didn't do anything else, which not super surprising.
So he just got weighed?
I think he got weighed and measured, and that was it. I saw him walking in with a tight end, and you just can't walk in with a tight end, especially when the biggest question is how tall is he?
Yeah.
You need to walk in with the shortest guy possible.
Yep. Look a little bit bigger. But, yeah, I'm intrigued to see where he goes and how much this is going to matter in his career. I don't know.
Yeah, The weight is the bigger issue, I think, because 5'10", it's not like he's 5'8".
Yeah.
You'd obviously like him to be like 6 foot 6'2", but being at like 185, you just bring a lot of injury questions in, where defensive linemen are 300 pounds, and if he's 185, he's just going to get destroyed.
Yeah.
But
yeah, we'll see what happens.
He'll do everything at his pro day, but
yep. Last thing I want to talk about was the Arnold Palmer Invitational happened this weekend. I only watched like the last couple holes.
I didn't watch a second of it.
But that's all you needed to watch. Because it was, Kurt Kitayama, first PGA Tour win.
Yeah, that's a good one. 3.6 million.
I wonder if there'll be a full swing episode on that.
I don't know.
Could be. But like the leaderboard was, I just flipped it on and there were 6 guys tied for first, I think.
Yeah.
On like the 16th hole.
I did see that, where it was just a who's who on the leaderboard.
Yeah, it was a lot of big names. And I was wondering, like, I should have looked this up, but what's the most amount of people that have gone to a playoff in a tournament?
I think one year there were 5. Because Kiz won in a playoff with, it was at least 4 guys.
How does that, do they all?
They all play one hole.
In one one group?
I believe so. I think they all play together.
That would be wild.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. It's interesting. Like, I saw he marked a putt when it was almost, it could have dropped at any second.
Yeah. Yep. He.
you have to.
Hovland told him to. And then Hovland choked.
And so this is something where I was like, when I mark my ball, I put it like right up against the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Like from where his mark was to the ball, there was like this much room.
I noticed that, yeah.
I was like, how close do you have to mark it?
I don't know. That's a good question because I've always wondered.
Could he mark it like a foot behind it?
I don't know because like I always think about that, like how exact do you have to be like when you put your mark behind the ball because you could move it up like an inch technically.
I feel like you
very easily.
I feel like you probably can't like mark it in front of the ball.
No.
And because it would just be weird if you marked it in front and then put your ball behind. That's just weird.
Right.
Like, you'd have to be a psycho to do that.
I don't know what the rule on that is, but I'd be curious to know.
Because like I'm sure you obviously can't move it forward, and you can't move it to like the side.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just like mark it wherever behind?
I don't know.
I thought that was weird.
It was very weird.
But like you can't get too close because then if you go to mark it and you knock it in, then I almost wouldn't have marked it just because, God forbid, you go to mark it and you like drop your mark and it knocks the ball in. Like what happens then?
I don't know if that's another good question. I don't know.
Or if you go to mark it,
it was so cool. Like it was about to drop.
Yeah, like I would honestly just like finish it out. Just don't even mess with it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I get you want to have like the moment, but there's just too much to lose.
Imagine like just being in his position, first chance to win a PGA Tour event, and having a, what was it, like 40 feet?
Yeah.
40-foot lag putt, like bender.
Yeah.
And you have to 2-putt. How many times are you 2-putting that?
Not very many.
Like
very
and
few.
then he almost made it. Like that was just incredible.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
I saw Spieth thought he like I never know what to think with Spieth when he does his little antics because he thought he pushed it. Either he thought he pushed it or it wasn't going to get there, and he started walking after it, and then it goes in. And like he hits a shot and he twirls it, and then it's
just terrible.
40 yards left.
Yeah.
And
he does that a lot on drives. Like he'll twirl it and it's just, and then he'll twirl it and then he says 4, and it's like.
I don't think I've ever seen a shot where he doesn't twirl it.
Yeah, just always does. I would love to play. I would love to just be a fly on the wall of a round with Tyrrell Hatton, because he was in the contention for it, and every shot didn't matter where it went. If it was good, if it was bad, he was like complaining and like yelling and screaming like the whole time. I want to know what he says.
Yeah, it's funny to like hear clips of him, but I just never been able to like really go all in with Hatton. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just like missing something where he's like really entertaining.
No, I don't. I mean, he is entertaining, but I just want to know like what he says.
Yeah.
Because he just freaks out all the time. But yeah, good for Kurt Kitayama.
Yeah.
Let's move into the roulette spin.
Chris has 16.
Okay. 16.
Trevin has 17.
17.
Tommy has 22.
22.
I have 24.
24. And I'm going to do 5.
5.
Is that it?
Yep.
All right.
This is for 50 each.
50 each.
Woof.
Here we go.
24. Come on.
Come on, 5.
1.
Oh, my gosh. It's 1. Will anyone ever get it? Dealer wins.
Red 1.
Classic.
Because, like, this all came from, Pardon My Take does the lottery ball.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking about this the other day when I was listening. And the reason they've got it so many times is because they do 3 a week. We do this once a week. So it makes sense that they're getting it multiple times.
That's fair.
But we do this
Fair
once
assessment.
a week.
I don't know. Someone eventually will, but the pot is getting large fast.
Because potentially somebody, the last spin because we capped it at a year.
Yes.
It's just, it can get too much. Like if we do, like if nobody gets it for the full year, the last one will be for $260 each.
Oh, that'd be like $1,000.
Yeah, because 52 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Times 5, so $260 each.
Yeah, that's a lot. I don't know. Maybe we'll reevaluate at some point.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna hit it soon.
Yeah, I feel like we've guessed. Everybody's, I feel like, guessed something that's hit like a week later.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody's gonna get it.
Someone is gonna get it.
Yep.
All right. Good pod. 2-man pod today. And yeah, we got Ismael Smith Flores interview right now. Check it out. This is the Boys Down Bad podcast, and we now welcome on a Nebraska football tight end recruit, Ismael Smith Flores, to the pod. Welcome on, man.
What's up, man? Thank y'all for having me.
Hey, we appreciate it. So the first thing I wanted to tell you, I saw your tweet at Coach Rhule a couple weeks ago. It was a video of you throwing down a pretty sick dunk. And you asked, I heard you like athletes. I don't know if he replied to you, but we just want to tell you that we do like athletes at Nebraska.
We do.
Yeah. He retweeted it, so I think he got the message.
Okay, good. Another thing we wanted to say, we have some ins on the basketball team, so if you're interested, we could talk to Hoiberg and talk you up a little bit.
Oh man, it's crazy because last year I was actually getting recruited by Nebraska, so I think I got my, a little
basketball?
bit. Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, I was. So I think I got my ends. I'm already talking.
Okay. I take it back.
Good.
Hey, the boys are hooping though. You've been watching them?
Yeah, I've been keeping them. They're doing real good right now.
They're doing really good. Make a Big Ten run, and who knows?
Yeah, I'm trying to see them in that tournament. That would be big.
Absolutely. So let's go back to the beginning for you. Obviously, you're not playing basketball right now. But was basketball your dream growing up?
No, football was. That's the crazy thing. It got stifled by my dad. He kind of put it to the side. He's like, "Nah, you're not playing that. We playing basketball." So I was like, "Okay." So that's pretty much how I went.
So I saw you only played 1 year of high school football. Is that right?
Yeah, this is my first time, 1 year ever playing football. I never played growing up or nothing.
Oh, so, really? That's your first year ever?
Yeah, ever. Like nothing at all. Like Pee Wee, any of that.
Jeez, that's insane. Like how was that process like jumping in as a senior and getting recruited by all these big schools?
I mean, it was crazy because it was probably like week 5 or something like that. Like it was like right in the beginning of the season. So it was probably like a month and a half in of me playing. And then I just get like 2 back-to-back Big Ten offers. I'm like, okay, like yeah, this might be my sport now.
I can do this. That's sick. So I saw your huddle film. Obviously you didn't have a ton of plays because you've only had 1 year there.
but your first play, you just look way bigger than everyone on the field. Was high school football just super easy for you, or what?
I don't know if it was easy, but it definitely wasn't hard. Let me put it like that. So,
So take us to the story of how you initially got the Nebraska offer and why you ended up choosing Nebraska.
so basically, it's a pretty long story, but so the day I got it, I was actually just getting done with my uncle's repast. He had just passed away, so we just got done with his funeral. So we're in New Jersey at the time. I was actually about to take a visit to Rutgers that same week. So I get back, we at my uncle's house, and so I'm chilling, and I get a call from Coach Wager, and it's like his first week at Nebraska, so it wasn't like nothing crazy. Like he had been talking to me, that's my guy, so he calls me like every once in a while, but he calls me out of nowhere. I'm like, okay, whatever. I answer, and then it was probably like a 2-minute conversation, like it wasn't even long. He was just like, hey man, like like I finally got settled in Nebraska, so I just want to let you know, like you're gonna be the first person on my offer. I was like, oh. I was like, all right, cool, coach. I'm like, that's a bet. And so at that time, like I was saying with my uncle coming back from his funeral, like he's like a real big part of my life. You feel me? And like growing up, he always told me like, look, when you make it, like I'm gonna be your agent, like this and that. Like he used to talk to me after all my games. Like, so when that happened, I was like, okay, like, what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, that was from him. He sent that down for me that day. So when that happened, I was like, all right, like that's kind of a sign. So once I got that, I was like, yeah, it's pretty much a done deal at that point.
Love that. That's an awesome story. A lot of the guys that we've talked to, we've had a lot of recruits on, they have like crazy Husker Nation stories. Like they'll just be walking around in public in a random place and they'll be like, hey, aren't you like, didn't you just commit to Nebraska? And just wild stories like that of Husker Nation seeing people in the wild. Do you have any crazy stories like that? Has Husker Nation just been incredible since you committed here?
Yeah, it has. It's crazy because like even in Texas, like it's big, and you wouldn't like expect it to be crazy in Texas, but it is. But I mean, my story, like, it's funny because my girlfriend, her family's from Nebraska, right?
Okay.
So one day she just texted me out the blue. She was like, "Yeah, like my grandma sent me this video." I was like, "All right, whatever." So because her grandma's staying there, she sends me the video. I'm on the news, and she's texting me. It's like, "Is this your boyfriend? Like this and this?" So, I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know they was really like moving like that in Nebraska." So once that happened, I was like, "All right, like yeah, like their fans are crazy."
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, so one of the questions, I was doing a little research. Obviously, your dad played at Iowa. Was there a lot of pressure to go to Iowa? Is it always Nebraska?
Well, from like my family, no, there was no pressure. My dad, he just wanted me to go wherever was best for me. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, like outside noises, pretty much everybody was telling me go to Iowa. You know what I'm saying? Like, the legacy is crazy because I mean he's pretty much regarded as at least defensively the best player to ever play at Iowa. You know what I'm saying? You could argue like overall best player, like whatever. He's really good. You know what I'm saying? So they say I would have no clue, but that's what they say. So you feel me? So obviously a lot of people was telling me like go carry on that legacy, but I mean his message to me was always just just go wherever is best for you. He don't care if it's Iowa. If it's Iowa, that's great. If it's not, then don't go there. Just go wherever it's you because I'm my own person. You know what I mean? So I gotta do what's best for me.
Absolutely. Well, we just want you to know that you made the right decision.
Yeah, that was a good call.
I know it. I know it.
So obviously, Coach Rhule new this year. What were your first impressions of him as well as the new staff? I know obviously with Coach Wager playing for him, you knew him, but aside from him, what has the staff been like initially?
I mean, my first impression of him, the first time I ever met him, he came to my basketball game. So I heard about him a lot because when he was at Temple, he coached my cousin. So I knew about him then and how he turned that program around. But then he's like a real big Texas guy. So I think he coached Cedar Hill or something like that. And then obviously what he did with Baylor. And so like everybody like in the DFW, like they love Matt Rhule. So my first impression was just like he's kind of larger than life. He walked in the building in the game and like it seemed like everybody was going crazier for him than it was the game. Like everybody screaming the whole student section, "Oh my gosh." He walked to the student station, he dapping up the students. I'm like, oh, I did not know he was cool like that. So, what I'm saying? He come to me in a warm-up lunch, he dapped me up. I'm like, okay, like he's cool people. So I mean, he's great. And then all the other coaches I met, they're all real genuine people. You know what I'm saying? That's like the best thing I like about it. They're like players coaches. So like you can just talk to them. And it's like all of them. It's not one person where it's like you look at them like, I don't know. It's like everybody's real cool, they're real down to earth, and they just seem like they really like being like a coach. They want to help you, they want to like be around you, and they just love football. So that's like really big for me.
Absolutely. Love to hear that. That's awesome.
Yeah, so kind of going back to Texas high school football, playing 1 year, what was kind of Texas high school football really like for you? Obviously, on the outside, it's crazy to us coming from Nebraska. There's not a ton of we don't have any, those huge schools. What was it kind of like for you?
I mean, it's big. You know what I'm saying? Like you would be surprised. Like you said earlier, like was high school easy? Like I made the joke saying it was easy. It wasn't. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of people like me. You know what I'm saying? Who was playing like I'm big, but everybody's pretty big. Like you run into some schools and you play like no lie, like 18 Division I players. So they're on the same team. So it's like, okay, it's not really just high school football at this point. Like these are like almost grown men you playing against. Even on my team, we had like number one corner in the nation on our team. We had like every one of our DBs went Division I, and like I think 3 of them were Power 5. So it's like it's not like nobody's just like it's not easy. Nowhere you go. Like every team we played, we was playing Power 5 corners and this and that. So it wasn't just like it's not just fake what people tell you like Texas football is like that. Like it's something crazy. And then like the environment around it is different. Like they treat it like it's just I don't know. Like it's like the biggest thing. Like every Friday, like school almost like just shuts down. Like it's just all football focused. It's crazy.
So it's a lot like, I'm sure you've seen Friday Night Lights, right?
Yeah.
Is that actually like the vibe?
Literally, like you would think they're joking or not. Like that's exactly what it is.
That's insane. Also going back to high school, so you and your boy Jeremiah Charles went to high school together, right?
Yeah.
And you both played football and you're both going to Nebraska now, is that right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Me and him, we grew up together, so it's real cool.
That was my question. Did you guys grow up together, and then what's it like, growing up with someone and then going big time D1 with them?
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's really no better feeling than just like that's my guy since we've been little kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, we went to middle school together, this and that, and it's just like seeing that is always great. Like, it's always great to see like your friends succeed. That's like bigger than anything. That's a better feeling for me personally. Like, see my friends succeed than it's like for my own success. So the fact he could go to a Big Ten school, you know what I'm saying, and then be my school that I'm going to as well, like that's huge. You know what I'm saying? Especially the path he had to go on, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't easy for him. He didn't pick up the offer till like 2 weeks before the signing day. So right. he was stressing about it. He was real like worried about where he was gonna go to school, and that happened. And it was a sigh of relief for him. And for me, it was just like I was so happy for him. You know what I'm saying? That's like one of my best friends in the whole world. So it was just great to see.
That's awesome. Awesome story.
Yeah, so kind of on the recruiting process, what about Nebraska was so appealing? Obviously, it's been a little bit rough coming in with a first-year guy at Nebraska. What about it was really appealing to you?
The coaches, that's really the big thing I was looking for recruiting. I just want to have good relationships with my coaches because, like, obviously we all, like, plan to be NFL players and this and that and be great. But, I mean, the reality is that's not everything. You know what I'm saying? So you want to have good relationships with everybody. So I want to know, like, even if, like, God forbid, like, something happened, you know what I'm saying? Like, injuries happen in football. You know what I'm saying? I'll still be in an environment where they'll take care of me and look out for me. And then in the future, I'll still be able to, you know what I'm saying, make a good living and stuff like that. So I knew at Nebraska, like, no matter what happens, like, I'm going to be taken care of. It don't matter if I'm an All-American or if I'm a scrub. I never play. You know what I'm saying? So I know I'm going to be straight here.
Absolutely. So watching your film, you kind of give me like Kyle Pitts vibes, like just a big dude, athletic. Who's someone who you really model your game after?
Honestly, I'm not going to lie. I did not, like, I don't even, like, watch football no more. So to tell you, but everybody tells me like Kyle Pitts because he's so like versatile and stuff like that. But I stopped watching once I got to like I don't know. Once like Michael Vick retired, I stopped watching. I'm not gonna lie. I just watched like Lamar Jackson highlights, so I don't even.
Well, it's just even more impressive just hearing your story. Like, not following football that much and then going out playing your senior year and picking up a bunch of D1 offers. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, and then I guess, is there one game in particular you're kind of looking forward to? I know Colorado's the game I have circled. I think that's kind of where you're going to know where the season's going. If we beat Minnesota, beat Colorado, I think we're in a really good spot. Is there kind of one game you're really looking forward to?
I think if I'm not tripping, we play Michigan this year, right?
I believe so.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I just seen that. So definitely Michigan. Obviously, they're really good. But then my brother, he goes to Michigan. He don't play sports or nothing, but you know what I'm saying?
You still gotta beat him.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point. That's my older brother. So, I want to beat their school. So that's definitely the game I have marked. And then Colorado, obviously, Deion, and then the rival. They're like, that game gonna be crazy right there. So
it's gonna be insane. It's gonna be a Red Sea there. What are you most excited for coming to Nebraska?
Man, I'm just excited, just getting ready to work and just untap my potential. That's really all it is, because I really believe like I could really be something special. You know what I'm saying? Right now I'm real raw, so I'm just kind of just going out there and being an athlete, which you know what I'm saying is doable now. But I want to learn like the ins and outs of the game, and then just really just get better. 'Cause I really feel like the sky's the limit for me. You know what I'm saying? Right now, like it's kind of like crazy to say, but you know what I'm saying? I really think I could be like really one of the best like out there. So that's really just what I'm really excited for, just getting better.
All right, that's all we got for you, Ismael. This has been awesome, man. We're really pulling for you next year, and we can't wait to see you in red.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all, man. This is good. This is fun.
You bet. Go Big Red, baby.
Man, go Big Red. You know, throw the bones up. You feel me?
Throw the bones. We love it. Thanks, man. We appreciate it.
Yes, sir. I appreciate y'all.
All right, thank you, Ismael. Awesome interview, awesome guy. I still love that he came to Nebraska over Iowa. It's just incredible.
It's crazy. Like, it's good parenting that like you don't force your kid to go to Iowa.
Yeah.
But also like it'd be really hard, I feel like, as a parent not to not like
Show
force
any emotion.
Yeah, like not force them to go to Iowa, but also like not kind of being there like, it'd be a huge deal if you really went to Iowa.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, I'll just go to Nebraska.
Yeah.
It's like
their rival.
Yeah.
And it wasn't only his dad. He had multiple family members go to Iowa, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I would have thought for sure.
It is.
I feel like if it's any other school, like, I wouldn't want to go to Iowa.
No, I wouldn't either. I hate Iowa. But also only playing football for 1 year and picking up D1 offers.
Just makes no sense.
It's incredible. You're just an athletic freak.
Can't
We're excited to
complain
watch
for
him. Excited to watch him. All right. This is the Boys Down Bad podcast. I'm Dylan.
Peters.
Have yourselves a top 10 weekend.